Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be looking at the 2009 Agricultural Science Past paper, paper 1. Let us get straight into the questions. Number 1. Which of the following statements about agriculture is not true? A. It contributes to gross national product. That's true. B. A country earns foreign exchange through agriculture. That's true. C. It increases food imports. Now, that's the answer. That's false. And D, it leads to food security. That's also true. So as you know, gross national product involves the production of goods within a country, and agriculture contributes to that production. But gross national product, remember that it also includes foreign exchange earnings. Question number 2. A person who engages in primary agricultural production is known as A. Farmer. The answer is A. Farmer. B. An engineer. C. A manager. D. An educator. None of those. Question number 3. Which of the following is a regional agricultural institution? A. C. B. I. B. Cardi. The answer is B. Cardi. Please remember that regional means those institutions that are found within the Caribbean. So these institutions, they are capable for, or they cater for the Caribbean countries. So CARDI would fall under that list. So CARDI stands for Caribbean Agriculture Research and Development Institute. So once it is a Caribbean institution, it is a regional institution. Question number 4. The act of stealing agricultural produce is known as A. Agroforestry, B. Tenureship, C. Urban drift, D. Predial larceny. The answer is D. Predial larceny. Tenureship here means the ownership of land. Question number 5. Biodiversity is a term used to describe the A. System that uses organic fertilizers, B. Integration of plants and animal systems, C. Sum of different species in a habitat. So this is the answer, C. D says system in which trees and crops are grown on the same land. So remember that biodiversity means different organisms. So it's a total amount of different organisms that live within a habitat. A habitat is a natural home for organisms. Alright, question number 6. What does the acronym GAP represents? A. Gross agricultural product. B. Good agricultural practices. C. Gross animal production. D. Good aquaculture practices. The answer is B. Good agricultural practices. Now, the good agricultural practices, there are certain principles that comes with the good agricultural practices. Of course, preserving the environment, producing enough food for the consumers, etc. Question number 7. Which of the following are characteristics of organic farming? 1. Crop rotation practice. Yes. 2. Pesticides are not used. Of course, pesticides are used. So yes, 1, 2, and 3. Soil amendments come from renewable resources. 3. So all 3 are correct. So A, 1 and 2 only, B, 1 and 3 only, C, 2 and 3 only. The answer is D, 1, 2, and 3. As it says, organic farming. So organic farming means only substances derived from plants and animals are used. If those internal structures are disrupted, then that would be a chemical. So only pesticides that are made from plants and animals would be used. So yes, chemicals can use once they are organic. Alright, question number 8. An organic farmer uses an insecticide on his cabbage plot. This insecticide will most probably be extracted from plants. Yes. So that's the answer right there. B. Specific only to this crop. C. An inorganic chemical. D. Persistent in the environment. Now if you look at option C, said an inorganic chemical. So inorganic, once it is formulated and the structures are disrupted, it's inorganic, and those are normally produced in the factory. Those chemicals are produced in the factory, and their internal components are disrupted. So once a chemical is inorganic, that won't be used on your organic farm, only at a last resort. But you don't want to use it any at all. That's the principle. Alright, question number 9. The process whereby commodities are utilized is known as A. Marketing, B. Consumption. The answer is B. Consumption. C. Production. D. Management. No. Question number 10. Which of the following is not a factor of production? A. Building, B. Capital, C. Labor, D. Land. The answer is A. Building. Alright, building it would comes under capital. Question number 11. Increasing levels of inputs result in increasing levels of output up to a point. Then there is a decreasing rate of output. This response demonstrates the law of A. Supply, B. Demand, C. Production function, D. Diminishing returns. The answer is D. Diminishing returns. Alright. Question number 12. When the price of tomatoes increases, consumers generally respond by A. Buying more, B. Buying less. Of course, they would buy less. C. Buying the same amount, D. Not buying any tomato. The best answer is B. Buying less. So you go back to the law of demand, and it states that the lower the price of goods, the more of those goods will consumers buy. Right. Question number 13. A lack of rural infrastructure in an area could result in A. Urban to rural drift, B. Environmental issues, C. Rural to urban drift, D. Interest in agriculture. The answer is rural to urban drift. Alright, because infrastructures are very important, such as light, road, and if you don't have those in an area, people will tend to move from those because the quality of life would not be so good. So the people tend to move to where they have better quality of life. Question number 14. Which of the following is not required when applying for a loan? A. Budget, B. Collateral, C. Proposal, D. Subsidy. The answer is D. Subsidy. Now, subsidy is basically an incentive that is offered by the government to farmers. So that is not important when applying for a loan. Question number 15. One of the features of a cooperative is A. Each member has one vote. B. Non-members have one vote only. C. Members cannot obtain a loan. D. Members with more shares vote more than once. Now, the correct answer is A. So there are principles that govern cooperatives, and this is one of them. Each member has only one vote. Question number 16. Which of the following is not an incentive offered to farmers by the government? A. Subsidy, B. Free chemicals, C. Tax exemption on inputs, D. Availability of land for cultivation. The answer here is B. The government don't try to give anything free. They would part sponsored something. They would give a grant, but they try not to give the inputs free. They give a percentage. Alright, so they try not to give things free. They want the interest of the farmers too. Question number 17. Farmer Steve wishes to rear New Zealand white rabbits. Two records that he should maintain are A. Milking record and feeding record. No. B. Breeding records and nursery records. No. C. Inventory of tools and milking records. No. D. Breeding records and weaning records. Alright, so these two are more applicable to rabbits. You don't need breeding record. You don't necessarily need a nursery record, and of course we said you don't need a milking record. Alright. Question number 18. One characteristic of fixed cost is that they A. Vary with level of production. No. B. Can be controlled by the manager. C. Represent cost of capital items. D. Include wages of casual workers. The answer is D. Why this answer is suitable is that wages are normally fixed. There's a fixed rate. So once there is an agreement, once that agreement is in place, the rate would be fixed. The pay rate, the wage would be fixed. However, the work The work of the laborer would be variable. So when you see labor, it means work, the work that is done by the worker, the energy that is put out. So labor, that would be a variable cost, but the wages of the laborer is fixed. Question number 19. A farmer wants to increase the number of broilers he is rearing. The expected change in the income and expenditure is presented in A. Partial budget, B. A complete budget, C. An income statement, D. An expenditure statement. The answer is A. A partial budget. Once he's doing an extension or addition or change, that's a partial budget he has to prepare. 20. A farmer uses seed, land, fertilizers, machinery, and labor to produce a crop of vegetables. Which combination of inputs indicates the variable cost of his budget? A. Seed, labor, and land. No, land is fixed. B. Machinery, fertilizers, and labor. No, machinery is fixed. C. Land, fertilizer, and seed. No, land is fixed. D. Seed, fertilizer, and labor. The answer is D. As I said earlier, that labor is variable because it's the work you're talking about, the energy. Alright, let's move to question 21. Question number 21. Farmer Renita has been cultivating the same parcel of land for some time, and the results of a soil test shows that the soil is acidic. Farmer Renita can reduce the acidity of the soil by applying A. Urea, B. Water, C. Limestone, D. Sodium chloride. The answer is C. Limestone. Of course, the limestone, or we could use white lime or whitewash. Alright, that is commonly used. Alright, so what that will do is to lower the potential hydrogen within the soil and makes it alkalinic. Overuse of fertilizer over the years has made the soil acidic. So that is why the soil gets acidic, because of the overuse of fertilizers, nitrogenous fertilizers in particular. Alright, question number 22. The easiest form of nitrogen for plants to absorb is A. Urea, B. Nitrates, C. Nitrites, D. Ammonium compounds. The answer is B. Nitrates. So if you are familiar with the nitrogen cycle, it shows you that plants absorb nitrates, nitrogen in the form of nitrates via their roots. So when the nitrogen turns nitrites, it will then be converted into nitrates. Alright, question number 23. When planting pop choy, Chinese cabbage, seedlings, the best mixed fertilizer to use is A. 5 to 5 to 10, B. 13 to 13 to 21, C. 20 to 10 to 10, D. 20 to 20 to 20. The answer is C. Alright, so remember that you have N, P, K. Now, the nutrient that the pop choy will need, first of all, it's a leaf crop. So you want more nutrients going to the leaf. So as you can see, based on the ratio, you'd want a fertilizer with more N, with more nitrogen. Now the others, you would not want to waste money buying this fertilizer. You don't want to add too much nutrients that the plant don't want, because those nutrients will remain in the soil. Alright, so the best answer is C. Question number 24. Which of the following should be recommended to a farmer cultivating a parcel of land that floods in the rainy season? 1. Construct deep drains. 2. Plant on high beds. 3. Plant crops without preparing the land. Alright, so these two would be relevant. 1 and 2 would be relevant. Alright, so the answer is B. Of course, while you are planting, you always want to try to put in some form of preparation on the land. So making your beds and making your drains, those are land preparation techniques that are very important. So let us go to question number 25. So which of the following are advantages of mechanization in crop production? 1. Difficult and unpleasant jobs are done easily. Alright. Yes. Large areas of land can be cultivated. Yes. A smaller number of people are employed. No, that's not good. That's bad. A country should always try to balance that aspect as well. So that's a disadvantage. So the answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Alright, question number 26. Item 26 refers to the following soil profiles and their horizons. Which profile is most likely found on a deforested steep slope? So steep slope means this is a hill. Alright, so you're talking about a hill. Alright, it doesn't have any plants on it. So what will happen is that it won't have any A. It won't have any horizon A. So horizon A is basically that layer that would has the remaining of dead plants and animals. So it have a high level of organic matter. Now if you have deforestation, you don't have any plants to contribute that organic matter. And since it's a hill, most of that organic matter will also be washed away over a period of time. So there are two reasons why A would be missing. So the answer is C. So the answer is C. Alright, question number 27. The part of the flower which forms the fruit is A, sepal, B, stamen, C, nectary, D, ovary. The answer is D, ovary. Alright, so the sepal would hold the petals. B, the stamen, is the male parts of the flowers, which would be your anther and your filament. Nectary would produce that sugary substance that is used to make the honey for bees. That the bees use to make honey. Alright, 28. Which of the following is not required for photosynthesis to occur? A, water, B, light, C, oxygen, D, chlorophyll. The answer is C, oxygen. Question number 29. An example of a plant that begins to flower in response to shortening day length is A, pigeon peas, B, okra, C, corn, D, tomato. The answer is A, pigeon peas. Alright, question number 30. Which of the following would lead to a reduction in biodiversity? A, reforestation, that's planting of tree. No. B, habitat destruction. C, less competitive species. D, reduced pollution. The answer is B, habitat destruction. Question number 31. When the liquid from a sprayer comes out as large drops, it is best to A, add water to the liquid in the sprayer. B, adjust the nozzle of the sprayer. C, spray the area 2 or 3 times. D, use a small watering can instead. The answer is B, adjust the nozzle of the sprayer. Alright, so the sprayer, the nozzle has an adjustment knob that you can use, right? So that is what will control. If you want the liquid to come out in fine droplets, you will screw it tight. If you want it to come out in large droplets, you loosen the knob. Alright, question number 32. Plant quarantine is a method used to A, assist in plant propagation. B, reduce importation of plant produced. C, reduce entry of pests and diseases into a country. D, increase a country's agricultural production. The answer is C, reduce entry of pests and diseases into a country. Alright, question number 33. Which of the following is not used as a mulch? A, dry grass. B, fine sand. C, sawdust, wood chippings. D, plastic. Alright, the answer is B, fine sand. Now, if you're a commercial, large farms, then you'd want to use your plastic because that's economical. Now, if you have a very large farm, the dry grass will take a lot of labor. So, depends on the size farm you have, you choose the type of mulching material. Alright, so the answer is B. You don't really use fine sand for mulching. Alright, question number 34. A selective herbicide is one which A, destroys all types of weed. No. B, destroys the chlorophyll in leaves. No. C, it applies to weed that have grown. No, not the best answer. D. Kill some plants but has no effect on others. So the best answer is D. So from the list, the best answer is D. Alright, question number 35. Mosaic disease in peas and beans is caused by A. Virus, B. Fungus, C. Nematode, D. Bacterium. The answer is A. Virus. Question number 36. Sweet potatoes are ready for harvest when A. They begin to flower, B. All the leaves turn white, C. The skin of the tuber turns red, D. The tubers release a sticky milky substance. Alright, the best answer from the list is A. However, please note, when they start to flower, you have to give them some more time. But it's a sign that the tuber is starting to form, but you give them a little more time. Alright. For B, all the leaves turn white. Well, when the leaves starting to yellow, that would be the best time. Alright, but from the list, A is the more suitable answer from the list. Alright, question number 37. Which of the following chemicals is used to accelerate ripening of fruits? A. Chlorine, B. Ethylene, C. Iodine, D. Oxygen. Well, the answer is ethylene. Alright, so ethylene is produced in the lab. However, normally plants that ripen, such as banana planting, they have ethylene in them naturally. Alright, so ethylene is responsible for ripening the fruits naturally, but farmers tend to produce this chemical in a lab and use it to help ripen the fruits faster, but it's natural. Alright, question number 38. Which of the following techniques are used in processing tomatoes? 1. Freezing, 2. Drying, 3. Heat. Alright, so 1. Freezing is correct. Drying, no. 3. Heat. Yes, you can use heat. So the best answer is 1 and 3. So that's B. Alright, question number 39. Which of the following are advantages of processing? 1. Allows the farmer to maximize profits. Yes. 2. Reduces the incidence of post-harvest diseases. Yes. 3. Prolongs the storage life of the produce. Yes. So the answer is all 3 of them. So the answer is D. 1, 2, and 3. Question number 40. Sweet potato should not be planted on a plot on which cassava was just harvested because A. The cassava may already have depleted nutrients which the sweet potato will need. So the best answer is A. Yes. They are the same type of crop, so they will use the same type of nutrients. They are both root tubers, so they use the same form of nutrients, so they will deplete the soil of that particular nutrient. Alright, question number 41. Which of the following animals has a ruminant digestive system? Alright, so ruminant here, the best answer is B. So pig would have a simple, the cattle, you don't normally call cattle cow, but the cow is a female cattle, alright? The poultry will have a simple stomach, a simple digestive system or monogastric digestive system. The rabbit would be a hindgut fermenter. Alright, so the answer is B. Question number 42. Which part of the digestive system of a bird stores food immediately after swallowing? A. Crop, B. Gizzard, C. Proventriculus, D. Small intestine. The answer is A. Crop. Question number 43. In a rabbit, most cellulose digestion takes place in the cecum. So of course, you said the fermentation would take place in the large intestine of the rabbit. Alright, so cellulose is broken down by fermentation, whereby microbes are used to break down the food or the cellulose in the food. So that takes place in the large intestine, specifically the cecum. Alright, question number 44. A broiler farmer uses the formula total feed eaten in kilogram over total live weight in kilogram to calculate. Alright, the answer here is C. Food feed conversion ratio. Alright, so the feed conversion ratio would mean the amount of feed that is used to produce 1 kilogram of body weight of animal. So you want to find out how much kilogram of feed that will produce 1 kilogram, 1 kg of body weight in animals. Alright. Question number 45. A ration which supplies the required nutrient in the correct proportion is A. Starter ration, B. Balanced ration. The answer is B. A balanced ration. Once it is in the correct proportion, so that's the key word, correct proportion, and also required nutrients. But those two terms are the most important terms in defining a balanced ration. Alright, production ration would mean you increase the food because you want them to put on weight or to grow more. Maintenance, you would not increase their feed. You just give them the normal amount of feed to keep them alive and keep their organs working, etc. Question number 46. One way of preserving pasture grass for the use in the dry season is A. Bundling, B. Bagging, C. Composting, D. Making A. So the answer is D. Making A. Question number 47. The best type of soil on which to establish a fish farm is A. Sand, B. Silt, C. Clay, which is the answer, and D. Loam. So with clay, remember the properties of clay. Clay stick together, holds water, the particles can absorb water, they're very close, and they don't encourage a lot of drainage. So the best answer is C. Alright, question number 48. Item 48 refers to the information below. A farmer has 500 broilers on which 20 die during 1 week. A veterinarian diagnoses the cause of death as Newcastle disease. The disease could have been prevented by the A. Use of streptomycin, no. B. Vaccination of birds, yes. So vaccination of birds, you vaccine birds that, well, the disease is caused by a virus. And when you have a virus, vaccine is a good prevention measure. Alright, question number 49. The names Vantress Cross, Golden Cornet, and Eyeline refers to the breeds of A. Cat, no. B. Rabbits, no. C. Poultry, yes. Question number 50. A farmer needs to formulate a high protein feed. Which of the following ingredients would be most useful to him? A. Wheat middling, no, that's carbs. B. Copra meal, no, that's coconut. C. Citrus, no. D. Soya bean. Alright, so soya bean is formed from the legume families, and legume are high in protein. Alright, question number 51. So item 51 refers to the diagram below, which shows the reproductive system of a bird. The reproductive system of a bird, alright? A. 51. In which labeled part does the development of the ovum yolk begins? Alright, so the answer is A. So this is the ovary. And remember, egg starts to form from the inside out. So it starts from the yolk, the egg white, the albumin, then to the shell. So the shell will be the last thing, the yolk the first thing. Alright, so question number 52. Which of the following is the best site for an apiary? A. Downwind of any building. B. The leeward side of any building. C. Far away from any buildings. Alright, for safety's sake, you don't want to have your apiary near buildings. Question number 53. Which of the following best describes phenotype? A. Genes that are responsible for the contrasting characteristics. No. B. The sum total of genes inherited from both parents. No. C. A gene that carries a trait which dominates. No. D. An organism on the basis of the traits expressed. So that's the answer. So of course, phenotype is speaking about the trait that is expressed. So you have two animals, one that is black, one that is white. The offspring, they mated, the offsprings come white. Now white, they speak about white, the white would be the expressed trait. So that is speaking about the phenotype of the animal. Now the animal may have genes in the animal blood or gene, you will have black traits in the blood, but it's not expressed. So when you're speaking about the gene makeup, that's genotype. But when you're speaking about the trait that is expressed or shown in the individual, then that would be phenotype. Question number 54. The feeding of grit to a broiler to broilers help to shorten the beak, no. B, increase body weight, no. C, increase feed digestion, yes. What happened? Birds, the broilers, chickens, they don't have teeth. So when they get the stones or the grit, it will stay in their gizzard, and that will help to grind the food. Alright, question number 55. Farmer Keith observed that this animal had the following symptom: A, a dull rough coat; 2, an offensive body odor; 3, excessive salivating. The farmer concluded that the animals were A, sick; B, restless; C, healthy; D, uneat. The answer is A, sick. Question number 56. Which of the following characteristics describe the queen bee? A, has long abdomen, yes. 2, mates once, lay eggs for a lifetime, yes. 3, has pollen collecting basket and hind legs, no. The queen does not do that. Alright, so the answer is A, 1 and 2 only. Question number 57. Alright, which of the following can be done to prevent an outbreak of foul brood? A, vaccinate bees, no. B, cull infested hive, yes. So the aim is to get rid of them completely. Question number 58. Which of the following process is used mainly to kill harmful bacteria in milk? Alright, you know that's pasteurization. So the answer is C, pasteurization. 59. The term clutch means the number of eggs A, laid. Alright. And 60. Which of the following activities best describe the grading process of eggs? A, the collection of eggs from the nesting box, no. B, the separation of eggs according to shape and size, yes. That's the answer. Thank you for tuning in and watching this video. Hopefully you will do well on your exam. Hopefully you understand everything. Please share and like the video, and also feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. I'll try to reply to those comments. Thank you.